going on out there, YouTube?
What's up out there, everybody?
We are back for a brand new spoiler review for Flash, episode 14, season 2. This is a high-octane episode. It was, like Joe said in the first reaction, this is a really suspenseful episode. You didn't know what was going to come up. This is going to be spoiler-filled, so if you've not seen the episode, take this episode, put it in the watch later, and come back to it because we're about to go into some heavy spoilers. We're not going to go too detailed and tell you the whole episode, but we'll talk about some of the most defining moments that I guess we liked about it and we didn't like about the episode. You want to go to the dislikes first?
Sure.
So, for me, one of the biggest dislikes of this episode, it was such a great, cliffhanger. Going up until that moment, Jay, after they get Barry out and they get Harrison Wells out, Barry trick, Zoom, and Wells used the serum to kind of slow him down. I don't know what he injected him with. That was a huge plot hole. But anyway, they get out and Jay just decides to sit right next to the gas stern breach. Like, he just sitting there nonchalantly, just kind of lingering there. I was like, Joe, this ninja about to get dealt with. Yeah, and sure enough, all of a sudden you see right through his body, then yanked him out. I'm like, yo, that was so stupid. Like, for me personally, I was like, that's the dumbest thing the writers could have ever done for me. If the ninja took him and the velocity 9 or whatever they're on had ran out, that would have made more sense to me. But for him just to linger around the portal, that's no bueno for me. I don't know. What did you think about that sequence?
Yeah, it was so cliche, man. It was just like, I was like, when I seen him walk towards the breach, I was just like, is he really doing this right now?
Yeah.
Like, no one in their right mind would do that. Nobody. So it's just like, I was like, this is bad. Yeah. So I was like, this is so cliche, man. It's so cliche. I was like, you've seen it coming a mile away.
Yeah. I mean, the whole episode, you're trying to anticipate what's going to happen. Yeah. And then up until this moment, you're like, yeah, he's about to get taken. Isn't it just about to get taken? The name of the episode is Escape from EARTH-2. They get out. He goes back in with his story.
Yeah.
At any rate, Caitlin has been creating and sharpening the velocity serum up until now. I think it was 7 and it got to 8, and then she pushed the envelope to 9 because it started getting Jay's cells to regenerate the right way. The thing about velocity serum in and of itself, I can't remember if it's 10 or if it's 9, but it creates this really mega villain that I'm curious to see if they're going to go down with that path, especially since they're now on velocity 9. The serum that can actually give people the speed force, because technically they could use that to give Wally the speed force. They could introduce trajectory. They could introduce a lot of different new speedsters just from the serum alone. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with it. But I guess one moment that I did like in the episode was when I didn't like the fact that EARTH-2 Barry was going along with the group. I was like, why is this man here? Like, you don't gotta prove nothing to your wife, dude. Like she's a cop, you're a forensics nerd. Like, you're a straight up nerd. This dude insisted on going along, but if he had not gone along, Barry would not have got out. Like, he literally motivated Barry to get out of his shell, or get out of his cell, and do what he had to do to survive. And it was a really deep and powerful moment. I really liked it. That was one of the moments that actually resonated with me the most. Even when I was listening to Barry in the cell, when he was like, if I can get fast enough, then I can do it. It was kind of had my blood pumping, especially with whoever the guy is that's in the cell. And I'll talk about my theory about that, and I'll end it off with that. But what was one moment, or even if there's that moment that you want to comment on?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't really mind EARTH-2 Barry going with him. Cause I was cause I'm so used to seeing Flash Barry, EARTH-1 Barry, and just handle his business. Mm-hmm. I'm just yeah, EARTH-2 Barry needs he needs this. I feel like he needed that. Mm-hmm. I was man, this guy's just gonna, after seeing himself as the Flash, you know what I'm saying? What would that do to somebody? See your alternate ego as a superhero, and you just basically good for nothing. It's just in your wife to see that. It's just like, yeah. So I feel like it was good for him to actually leave.
Yeah.
And to know, like, even though he's like very mild mannered and that he has an inner hero in himself. So I thought it was actually good thing for Barry. Yeah. Now with this episode, I mean the entire episode, man, Zoom was just killing me, bro, because he was just like,
he was setting dudes up.
There be moments where moments where freaking Wells' daughter and Barry were in the cells and they're communicating with this masked guy. You don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? And then Zoom would just pop up randomly. Like, he would leave and he'd just pop up randomly, like, yo, what you doing? Like,
he's just like, terrorizing people.
Yeah, just terrorizing people. Like, I was like, what in the world is this guy doing? Like, I felt like he was doing that intentionally.
Like, what's his problem, bro? Like, he just beat the snot out of Barry just for the heck of it.
It was so funny to me, though.
Yeah.
Like, not him beating up Barry, but the fact that he would just pop up at random times. Like, yo, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? Like, oh, Barry, It was to me, I was like, yo, this guy's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, there's no redemption for his character. Like, he's just a bad dude. Like, I don't see any redeeming quality. This is the first villain that I really say that I've not seen one redeeming quality about this man.
I don't know.
At all.
That's the thing with Zoom, Reverse Flash. These guys are just freaking terrible.
Well, I mean, Reverse Flash at least has some redeeming qualities. Zoom has none.
So.
I mean, because he loved Barry. He hated him, but he loved Barry. He actually taught him. He actually taught him.
That made it worse for me, bro.
I mean, but still, like,
that made it worse for me.
This
like,
dude,
you're gonna spend all this time just to crush dude. Like, basically, they had the same means. Reverse Flash is just more patient, and to me, that makes him a worse villain, if anything. Now Zoom, oh man, Zoom is so funny. Cause like classic, right? After everybody's coming through the breach or whatever, guess who Zoom has holding up, by his side, and Wells is just sitting there like, yeah man, he got me. Like, I was just like, yo. Zoom was just like, yeah, what you gonna do now? Like, he's just a bully, bro. Zoom is just a big old bully.
He a thug. That's what he is.
I was just like kidnapping people, bro. That's his staple move.
Just sit there and date somebody in front of them.
Yeah, just like, yo, I got it. And just hold him up. And just like, who does that? Yeah. Zoom does. But I think this episode has definitely been the most suspenseful episode for me in general. Because I was like, yo, when is Zoom going to pop up? Yeah. They all in the group actually came to rescue Barry. I was just like, yo, where is Zoom right now? Because he's been gone too long. Yeah. And I know, like, he's probably set them up to actually get there because Wells is the missing key. Yeah. So, man, that whole episode, man, had me on the edge of my seat, man. I was like, Zoom about to kill all these cats. Yeah. And one thing I like about this episode that is the end where, well, not... What I like about the ending of this episode is that Zoom, they couldn't kill Zoom. They just had to basically, just survive and like cut him off. I really like that aspect of this, this part of the series. It's like this guy they literally cannot beat right now, and it's just like, yo, like. So I'm kind of wondering, like, is he gonna make another appearance down the line? You know what I'm saying? And also this wild card, we don't know who this guy in the mask who was in that cell is.
Yeah, I mean, I have two different theories. Like,
shoot.
I mean, with me, I had thought that it could have been Eddie because we never saw, like, Eddie went through the breach first off, and it's evident the guy in the mask, he actually has blonde hair. I was thinking that it was a different version of Jay Garrick. I was thinking to myself that, this is the Jay Garrick that he was talking about. But, I mean, the whole fact is that Zoom, like, that's in the comics, is the other worldly, like, Zolomon. Hunter Zolomon is, Zoom. I don't know if this guy was saying that Jay Garrick is, Zoom. I'm not really sure if that would help the situation. But all I know is as soon as he brought up the name Jay Garrick, he just lost it, bro. Like, he literally, it was like he broke down and just gave up. Like I never seen somebody act so well with no facial expression at all, because this dude, he was easily broken. It was almost like traumatic for him. It's kind of like somebody stole his identity in a sense. So I don't know about that, but I thought that was a really powerful sequence. But I can definitely say that as far as with what is gonna happen next, there's gonna be some hell to pay, man. Because I really don't know how this whole velocity situation is gonna go. I don't know if Wiley's gonna end up with powers by the end of this season. Now that they've got the velocity system that they can, or even they can go and try to recreate a version of Flash. There's a lot of different things that can kind of go down the pipeline. But I'm trying to think how to articulate my theory, though. I don't know that I can right now. I might have to wait off on it, because I've always thought it was Henry Allen that was Zoom. I've always thought that it had to do with Henry, because they haven't shown what's the Earth-2 version of Henry Allen. Nor do we see what happened to Henry Allen, because Barry's dad, to me, seemed like he was sick. I thought that he was literally getting sick. So I don't know. But I'll come back to the theory a little bit later on. I'll talk about it later, because I want to talk about it, but I don't know if it's. I have to research a little bit more. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it a little bit more. And I think that also the drugs are kicking in, so I probably need to get out there.
We'll talk about this later. We can go on and talk about this.
Yeah, but hopefully y'all enjoyed our spoiler-filled reaction to this, and leave your comments in the comment section below what y'all thought about it. We, I guess, equally gave it like an 8 out of 10. And we'll be back next week for episode 15. Keep it locked. GBS, we ain't gonna stop. Later, y'all.